The Charlotte Hornets. Been having to play against them. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 more games before we reach the end of January. But yeah, man, we almost there. But I just wanted to let you know what's going on. We've been winning every single game, so you know, sometimes even though I miss my shots, I still have an opportunity to go out there on the court and do what I need to do and get the victory. Yeah, man, I've been missing basically all my shots, but sometimes I make it. I say 25%. It goes in.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm joined by Shaq and the Jet. In this game, we'll see the Charlotte Hornets going up against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, it's been a very successful first half of the season for them. When the opportunity to win a ball game has been there for them, they have grabbed it over and over. Let's talk about the expansion of video review during games. It seems every season the scope of what can be reviewed gets bigger and bigger. What effect do you think it's had on the game, Shaq?
I like it. You want the officials to get the calls right. The key is to review it and complete it quickly. Not too much sitting around.
You know, it's gotten quicker, but I'm not a fan of it. It's to me, I think that the human error of the game is like players missing shots. It's a part of the game and the human error.
Yeah, you don't want somebody to win a championship on a bad call.
Human error, human error.
Because it's human error, man.
We got to get it right.
It wouldn't be a bad call.
You got to get it right.
It would just be a call that just didn't go your way.
What if it went against you? What if you?
Then they have to review.
If you worked 82 games and then here you were in Game 7 and a bad call off somebody's foot isn't reviewed and then you lose the game.
I'm a proponent of reviewing all of my game calls, but anyone else's, I'd rather watch.
Oh, stop it.
That's all for now. I can't take anymore. We'll see you later.
Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by the talented analyst tandem of Greg Anthony and Chris Webber. David Aldridge is on our sideline. So glad you can join us here at the Palace of Auburn Hills, the home of the Pistons, Detroit, Michigan. And, of course, Cody Zeller. They really haven't filled the void yet in the wake of his absence.
Yeah, and no question that it's a risky deal to make because it's the kind of move that can turn a team's fan base against the front office. But trading one of the most popular players on the team is always risky no matter what you get in return.
And before this game gets going, let's check out our Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Stan Van Gundy. David.
Well, guys, he has an admiration for what he called the intelligent, efficient offense played by today's opponent. He told me that the thing about this team is that they are so good at identifying the weak spots in an opponent, and they come at you in multiple ways depending on where those weak spots are. He said, we've got to be ready for everything. It's pretty tall order. Guys?
Okay, David, thanks. And as we reach this point of the season, teams pretty much know what to expect when they go up against each other.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's why when it comes down now, it comes down to ad-libbing. Who can counterpunch? Who can employ their will on the other team? You really got to just, appreciate the fact that these teams are so good. And you just got to make sure you play your best every night.
So Detroit will get the first possession. So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. Kemba Walker is out there with Jeremy Lamb. Then there's Batum. Then it's Roy Hibbert. And it's Williams at the four-man position. Jackson, Drummond, and Drummond is right there.
Wow, Drummond is one of the top rebounders in the game. You have to put a body on him, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, just to prevent him from coming away with a second chance opportunity.
Now, here's Walker. And it's Lamb atop the key. Hibbert with a screen on Caldwell Pope. They get it back. Hibbert gets the bucket.
Man, he's in attack mode, crashing the glass, then goes right back up with it.
Harris outside. Pass to Lure. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Lure's got his first bucket in this one.
could be the first of a lot of mid-range jumpers that we see from him.
Has anyone read the scouting report? I mean, that's his game. He's always looking to get quality shots from that area when he can.
Now, here's Walker. 17 points for him last game against Oklahoma City.
Well, and his overall aggressiveness leads him to camping out in the lane. It's a no matter what you do type scenario.
So for the Pistons, their last game, a win against the Indiana Pacers.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way, and that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
You're right. A lot of wide open spaces. They were running around undefended all night.
And Lamb kicks to Hibbert. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot two.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Charlotte shooting their first free throws here for the night.
Two shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
Now, when you watch this Detroit team play, you can't help but think about perhaps one of the most legendary teams ever to play in the NBA, the Bad Boys Pistons. The amazing team that would deliver back-to-back titles to my city of Detroit. One of the toughest teams ever in any sport.
And so he hits both. And those back-to-back titles for the Bad Boys coming in 89 and 90. One of the few teams, Chris, to get the better of Jordan for a brief stretch of time.
Well, I tell you what, I grew up on this team. My home, Detroit, I love this team, the Pistons, the Bad Boys. This was a team full of characters, and they were all tough as nails. Zeke was the leader. But 1 through 5, and on the bench, everyone would put an elbow in your chest to discourage your shot.
Here's Lamb. Tobias Harris picking up that last basket. Unloads from 13. Walker's shot is off. The Pistons have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Harris kicks to Jackson. The pass to Drummond. And Harris wide open. He shoots. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Harris has got 5.
Well, one of the things Harris does so well out there is shoot the 3-ball, which in turn opens up the floor for the rest of his teammates.
Hibbert with a screen on Caldwell Pope. Lamb dishes to Hibbert. Good work there as it goes. He has 6.
Oh, he took a terrific angle right there off the screen, something they work on every day in practice.
Jackson with it. He's picked up by Walker. Harris kicks to Lewis. Pistons passing it around. Harris passes to Lewis. Here's Drummond. Tries again. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Drummond is a rebounding beast who eats glass for a living. Can't keep this guy off the boards.
And the Hornets, Chris, have not found a lot of playoff success as a franchise.
Well, be honest, they have had trouble getting to the playoffs at times, but not last season, though. Have never been past the second round as a franchise. You get the feeling it's just a matter of time before they go deep in the playoffs.
First one falls for him. And a different look here for the Pistons. Morris is checked in for Lure. Johnson comes in for Tobias Harris. Young's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And Harris subbed in for Jackson. So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Hibbert. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist comes in for Nicholas Batum. Ryan Roberts is checked in for Lamb. And Sessions subbed in for Walker. Well, Chris, we have a question for you sent in from one of our fans from Todd up in New Hampshire. They want to know what your favorite moment was as an NBA player. A question I'm also curious to know about.
Wow. My favorite moment as an NBA player, very honestly, I would say it would be the day of being drafted. I mean, after then you have so many great moments, so many players that you play with, that you love to play with. It's hard to separate anything without disrespecting another moment. So I just really feel that the greatest moment of my career was stepping on that stage in Detroit at the Palace in my hometown, with my finger up and just knowing that I made it. For all of us, the goal is to make it. It's not about to be a Hall of Famer. It's not about to be an all-star. It's not about to win a championship, even though those are dreams. But you can't do it until, you make it. And so for me, putting that suit on, seeing my father shed tears, seeing my mother's eyes, and the twinkle she had in her eyes, seeing my brothers and three brothers and my sister, how happy they were, that definitely was the moment, because it was a family moment, and it was for Detroit, and so it was special.
Well said. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for Charlotte.
And they really feasted from beyond the arc. Quantity and quality. Boy, they filled it up. And when you can punish a defense like that from long range, it can be demoralizing.
Free throw good at Jinsa. Jinsa drops them both.
Now, since his arrival in Charlotte, Coach Clifford has been doing what he can to improve the defense in his club. They have seen steady improvement under his watch. It's a big part of why they look to be able to hang in there with any team.
Now, here is more. Inside, just 5 on the clock. On deep. Shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
That's just a clumsy turnover there. Just an errant pass that should have never been attempted.
Hornets trail by 6. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Sessions dishes to Jinsa. It's stolen by Marjanovic. And now here comes Young leading the break. That one good for 2. Young's got his first basket.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Here's Roberts. Kicks to Sessions. From outside the arc, gets the 3-pointer to fall.
Smart idea. Immediately shoots over the smaller defender before helping.
And that does it for the first quarter. Pistons lead by 5. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. And before the game, we heard from Kemba Walker. He talked about his mentality when he steps out onto the floor.
Play free. Just like playing street ball. Just have fun. Just play the game that you've been playing, forever.
Infectious enthusiasm. You see it every time he steps on the floor. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
They've won the effort battle, and that's allowed them to control the backcourt.
And the fundamentals. When shots go up, guys are blocking out. Look at the numbers. It's ridiculous so far.
Chris, we're seeing more and more big men be able to face up and knock down outside shots or even 3-pointers. In your mind, who's the best shooting big man in the game?
Well, that's a great question. The best shooting big man in the game now, I say, still has to belong to Dirk Nowitzki. The jump shot does not get old, and even though we don't see Dirk do some of the more spectacular things he did above the rim and attacking the basket, that jump shot still is pretty, still is effective, and I still love it. So, to me, Dirk is still the best shooter in the game.
Great perspective. Harris in at shooting guard. Andre Drummond is out there with Harris. And it's Smith. And it's Young in at the 3. They're the group Detroit will start the second with. Smith kicks to Harris. Drummond in the post. He's against Hibbert. And that one's good. Drummond's got 5 now.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Kid Gilchrist, no luck.
No reason he couldn't have taken more time and finished that one off. Disappointing miss for sure.
Harris passes to Smith. Harris dishes to Harris. Baseline try. And the shot falls short this time. Hornets trail by 9. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Batum with the 3. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Well, Batum is a volume three-point shooter. If he has any space whatsoever, he's pulling up. Most likely connected.
Harris kicks to Smith. There's the screen. Drummond dishes to Young. That shot off, and Charlotte will go the other way with it. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And that's one of those games where I just felt the attitude going in was wrong. I think they believed what was being said about them in the press, and that was a game that they just couldn't win.
Well, also, when you're a monster underdog, you have to play like a monster. You have to be aggressive, really physical. I didn't think they brought that level of intensity.
Detroit leading by 6. You know, Chris, for a lot of players, being called a tweener is a bit of a backhanded remark. It means they have no true position. But that might be a compliment for Tobias Harris.
You're right, Kev. That is exactly the case with Harris. He's considered a tweener just because he can have a large impact at both forward spots. He has the strength and ability to finish inside at the 4. He's a good enough shooter from range to play the 3 and has no problem defending from either spot.
And he just punched.
Get over here, guys. Hustle up. Let's talk. If we want to slow down Walker, we have got to take our defense to the next level. Do not allow him to get baseline. I want us to force him to the middle. Biggs, be ready to help out. Make them beat you as a team. We can live with that, all right? Let's go.
Lisa being cold-blooded helps out a ton, too.
And you can tell they're just a little out of sync. I think he just wants to get everybody back on the same page.
Yeah, trying to find their rhythm. It's a chess match, a constant back and forth of in-game adjustments.
And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. And then for Charlotte, Williams, he's checked in for Alexis Ajinça. Jeremy Lamb comes in for Kid Gilchrist. And Sessions subbed in for Walker. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Nice ball movement by Detroit. The leader. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Caldwell Pope's got his first 2 points.
And the versatility of Caldwell Pope, not just the score from outside, but also a threat to shoot the ball close to the hoop as well.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Reggie Jackson went from a backup in OKC to signing a 5-year, $80 million contract in Detroit. Stan Van Gundy said, we liked his ability, but what we liked even more was he was a guy we thought would not change once he got the money. This is a guy who's really driven to be as good as he can be. Kevin, he has definitely made some strides.
Thanks, D.A. He wanted that starting role, and he's earned it. Batum for 3, rebounded by the Pistons. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Last time they met was in Charlotte, where they beat the Hornets.
And the previous meeting was a win for them and a huge day for the bench. The reserves really stepped it up with their scoring.
Yeah, when the second unit came in, I mean, they provided a ton of energy, lots of hustle points, and that just had a snowball effect.
There's 53 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Sessions, and the layup's good off the glass. Sessions has got 4 points in the quarter.
Beautiful things happen when you attack. Put the defense on its heels.
Feed feeds it to Caldwell Pope. Passes it to Marjanovic. Soft touch off the glass. Marjanovic has got his second bucket.
Well, then Caldwell Pope really sees the court well. Everyone knows this guy can shoot, but his passing is also outstanding.
Hibbert with a screen on Jackson. The rebound by Caldwell Pope. Pistons leading by 8. Outside Jackson. There's the screen. Caldwell Pope pass to Luke. And the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. The Pistons on top, up 10. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Clifford. What was the biggest problem for your guys in the first half?
Well, you know what? We're a defensive team first, and we've been good defensively. We've been organized. We weren't that in that first half, and that's why we got to concentrate to get the game going back our way.
See if you revert back to your form in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
Keep it up, guys. We have some good momentum. Listen up. We have these guys back on their heels, and now they're playing like they're desperate. Now stay focused, guys. Let's win this game and go home.
Welcome back to the Palace at Auburn Hills. That's a look at the Renaissance Center, which dominates the skyline in downtown Detroit. Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Andre Drummond with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And he really just broke out the entire arsenal of post moves there in that first half.
Yeah, great activity in the painted area. Lots of energy. Looking to score almost every time he got the ball.
Well, over the last couple years, we've seen teams emphasize ball movement and player movement. Chris, you like that trend?
You know what? I do like that trend. You know, from my days playing with the Kings, that was our style of play. The ball movement, get guys involved, make sure that you back up when you're overplayed by the defense, have some fun. I do like that style of play. Now, there are times for ISOs. When you look at a guy like Melo or Durant, or you look at a guy like Curry or Thompson, or you look at a guy like LeBron or Uncle Drew. These guys, if they have the ball, I mean, get out the way. ISO ball is still, you know, there's 20 guys in this league that can have an ISO play called for them every time, because ISO also means I can beat my man, draw your man, and pass it to an open teammate. So I think ISO ball should not be taken for granted, but I think it's a big responsibility for a lot of players, and there's only a handful, or about 3 or 4 handfuls of players in the NBA, in my opinion, that should be given the freedom to go to work on the ISO.
Great way to put it. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. Setting the floor for the Hornets. Williams is out there with Roy Hibbert, and there's Kemba Walker, there's Jeremy Lamb, and it's Batum in at the small forward.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been solid.
For Detroit, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
On the free throw, no good.
Now, we all know Reggie Jackson is as quick as most guards in the league, but that isn't why he's able to get anywhere on the court. He does a great job of keeping defenders guessing with his change of speed. It looks like he's moving in slow motion at times because his movement is so fluid.
Now, here's Batum. With an average of around 19.5 points a game, his scoring has been a constant for them. Off target on the 15-footer.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Jackson kicks to Harris. Outside Jackson. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots a 3. The Pistons rebound. Drummond. Good on the shot. And it's an 11-point Piston lead.
Oh, the muscularity and skill set of Drummond is incredibly difficult to match up against. A tremendous big man who is remarkable in the paint.
Now, here's Walker. Wyatt so far offensively is searching for his first points of the game. And Chris with Reggie Jackson, he is so talented with the changing of speeds on the move.
And you can't underplay how hard it is to guard a guy who is always starting and stopping. It's a constant guessing game if you're a defender, and eventually you'll anticipate wrong. Reggie finishes so well in so many places. It's a big part of why he's a great scorer.
Here's Walker following the score by Reggie Jackson. Outside, Walker. Stolen by Jackson. And he makes good on the way. Jackson's got 8 points.
Wow, but Jackson is just crafty down inside. He has such a quick release that even taller defenders can't get to him in time.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Charlotte Hornets made a concerted effort last season to improve what had been terrible three-point shooting. Coach Steve Clifford said, if you look at trends in this league, three-point shooting percentage was the #1 factor why teams won. That's the way this league has gone. It makes sense, right? It creates spacing, which opens up things for everybody else. Kevin?
Yeah, trying to space the floor. Thank you, D.A. Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons.
One shot.
Marcus Morris is checked in for Andre Drummond. Young comes in for Tobias Harris. Harris is checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Ish Smith in for Reggie Jackson.
Now, this team at times on the floor can remind you of the 2004 Pistons and how they play. Very unselfish, defensive-minded, and playing for one another. No big star, but doing what they can to get wins.
Here's Morris. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. Morris has got his second bucket tonight.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
The dish to Williams. Roberts passes to Kid Gilchrist. The feed to Williams. Pocket 4. No good, unable to end this run. And with that 2004 Piston team, Chris, you mentioned, that was the last title the franchise took back to Detroit. What a team, too, led by Ben Wallace.
Well, you talk about team basketball, and they pulled off one of the bigger upsets in the NBA Finals history when they dismantled the Lakers team stuffed with future Hall of Famers. They played the better team ball and were able to overcome Kobe and Shaq with GP and the mailman.
Shooting 2.
And he can't get the first one.
And Press handles pressure well. He's been used to that ever since he entered the spotlight.
That one misses.
Charlotte has had some great players come through and down the till. Not only very talented players, but more memorable players. Guys like Grandmama, Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, just to name a few.
And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Sessions. Back to Kid Gilchrist. It's deflected.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And they pick up 2.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
And thinking about past Hornet stars, Chris, who in your mind was the best ever to put on a Hornets uniform?
Oh, man, you have to think about Larry Johnson, Grandmama. You also have to think about Alonzo Mourning is up there for most fans of the team.
Morris with the bucket.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Nice job, Orange Juice. Hustle up, take a seat. I like what I see out there, fellas. We're playing like we wanted more than them. Remember, you're my Pippen and you're my Jordan. Finish this game like they would.
one thing great, but does everything well. He just finds a way to make plays in the game, and it shows up in his numbers.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
And they may have to address a number of things, including whether this is the right lineup.
Checked in for Alexis Agency. Seconds left in the third, and the Hornets miss again.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart.
And the shot is good.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Roberts dishes to Hibbert. Harrison a double team. Williams kicks to Roberts. Charlotte moving it around. They need this. Sessions no good.
And, you know, you can feel the desperation right now. They're starting to lose their composure offensively.
Oh, man, this is when the coach gives you the whistle and needs to settle his guys down. Don't worry about the run. Go one possession at a time.
Here's Roberts. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. From deep three-point range, and no good trying to get that one. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's Detroit running away with it. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Here's Jackson. Johnson is out there with Jackson. Then it's Ellenson. Then it's Marcus Morris. And it's Marjanovic in at the 5 down low. That's the 5 on the 4 for the Pistons. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. Here's Roberts. The NBA game more analyzed than ever before. The teams are competing against one another, but also, Chris, was seeing the league is sharing a lot more information with fans. Analytics now becoming a very important part of it.
Well, I think the one thing that you have to remember about analytics, though, is that there isn't a consistent variable. You know, it doesn't take into account what a guy went through that day, the defender that's playing against him, whether it's cold, whether it's warm. So I caution a little bit about analytics, but at the same time, fans need as much information as possible. So I'm glad that the fans get as much information as they need because then they can be as informed as they like to, so they can sit back and armchair quarterback like myself and kind of make decisions or second-guess decisions that are going on based on their knowledge of the game. So I think it's great for teams, for fans, for everyone that you just have more information about the team that you know.
That's an excellent point. Here's Drummond. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 3 assists in the game. Now, here's Walker. But 3. No good on that one. And the Pistons now going the other way.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well. And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Now here's Hibbert. Shot's good by Walker.
And Walker uses every inch of his 6'1" frame to nail the interior shots, really using his body well.
Jackson kicks to Johnson. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. 6 on the shot clock. It's Caldwell Pope with the drive. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Walker the pass to Roberts. Back to Walker. And going into this last draft, some new rules allowing college players more leeway to test the NBA draft waters. Do you like that change?
I do like that change. I like it for the team, so they get a little more time to examine players and study and see who they really want. And I really like it for the players. So, this is the biggest decision of some of these guys' lives. And being able to decide if you really want to go forward with it, or do you need a little more time, or evaluate where you are in the process. I think that's very important. So I think it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, great points. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And the basket by Harris.
Whether it's inside or outside, Harris remains steady and ready to shoot the ball. He definitely has the trust of his teammates and coaching.
Now here's Walker. He dishes it to Batum. In a wide open look for Lamb. Drills it from outside.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
The Pistons have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. Johnson outside. Drummond working against Hibbert. Here's Johnson. Softly drops in the floor.
And at 6'7", Johnson has the height to bang down low. He's terrific at getting quality shots in the post.
Outside, Walker. There's a minute 40 left to play here in the fourth. Dishes it to Batum. Front past the arc. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got rebound number 8 now on the night.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a galley win for the Pistons.
A beautiful pass doesn't always get you on the highlight reels, but there were some spectacular dishes in this game.
You know what? It was a team that was in sync and just trusted one another to take the right shots.
And so checking out the record for these guys tonight will mark win number 37 for them on the year.
And once they polish off this win, they'll be one more victory away from sweeping the season series. I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Drummond.
The most common sight in this game tonight was him getting positioned under the glass and just refusing to be moved. He was a beast on the boards, and his rebounding made a big difference.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
When one guy gets hot sometimes, it's infectious, and the team does too. That's what seemed to happen for them on that play.
He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
And this run not really doing them any good at this point, as late as it's starting to evolve.
Well, it's really too bad that they found themselves a little too late in this one.
Now here's Jackson. Here's Caldwell Pope. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That's foul number 2 for him. So it's the Hornets now. Walker dishes to Batum. And taken away by Johnson. Young outside. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Alright guys, on the next episode we'll be going up against the Portland Trailblazers. That will be the last game of my video because my phone is gonna die, so hopefully we can make it all the way to Sacramento Kings. But yeah, man, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 more games. But yeah, man, I've been grinding these series. Don't really have nothing else to say. Alright guys, on the next episode we'll be going up against the Toronto Raptors. We'll be going up against the Portland Trailblazers. So that's the next episode. Yeah, man, we're almost done with the whole season. Just gotta keep grinding all the way to April. So it's not gonna take that much, but you know, I just be feeling really low and not talking, just letting y'all enjoy the content because I'm not really a talker like that because I'm too antisocial to myself. But yeah, man, on the next episode, we'll be going up against the Toronto. Well, I couldn't say Toronto. Well, hopefully we could go against Toronto one game. But we're going against the Portland Trailblazers. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to post mostly every day, every week whenever I have free time. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.